Today, we are going to talk about the importance of storytelling in marketing.
Storytelling is an age-old marketing technique. It's been going around for over 1,000 years. People connect with stories. Just look at the movie theater. When you go watch a movie, you love the movie because the storyline's good. When the storyline sucks, you don't really care about the movie. The reason Eric and I want to bring up storytelling in this podcast episode isn't because you don't know about the importance of it, or that you shouldn't be using, or that you should be using storytelling, because most people already know that. But there's one big thing that people forget when they use storytelling. They forget to take people through emotional roller coaster, the ups and the downs. See, when people can really resonate and they bond with that story, they're much more likely to convert into a customer. If your story is bland, it doesn't have a lot of ups and downs, or that emotional connection isn't created, you're not going to convert people from that story into a customer. And a lot of people come to Eric and I, and they're like, we're using storytelling. We don't see it helping with our traffic or conversions. And that's because it doesn't appeal to people's emotions.
Yeah. So what I was saying, think about Batman for a second. When you think about when Batman was the Christian Bale Batman, when he was fighting against Joker, right? There's an entire storyline there because people fall in love with a character because of the struggles that the character goes through. And so to Neil's point, like, it has to be interesting, right? If the character is winning all the time, it's not an interesting story. So people identify more with struggle. Like every single movie that you see out there, it's not just all about triumph, right? It's like people will, like, let's say Neil and I were just sitting here right now, or maybe, and then maybe the next second, like a meteor comes through the window or whatever, right? And then I'm like lost. And then maybe like, then Neil begins the quest to like search for me, right? And then through that quest, he finds that, you know, there are like, I don't know, leprechauns that are willing to help him, right? So like, there's all these like weird changes that are happening, right? These happen in business. I'm not going to name names right now. We'll just use this big crypto exchange as an example, right? One of the largest out there, you know, valued at billions and billions of dollars, right? And this guy was the poster child of crypto. And then what ends up happening in the span of 7 days? Like, that is a story. Like, everything comes crashing down. But like, how did it happen? And like, what's going to happen next, right? And then like, you go to the very end, it's like, okay, what is the lesson learned from this story? What did the character learn? And so all that to say is, if you want to learn good storytelling, there are a couple frameworks I'll give you, and then you have to Google these afterwards, because we're not going to be able to get this through in one podcast. One, like, a story has to have a change, right? That's the key thing that we're going to give you here. But there's a concept called the Harmon Circle. So that's HARMON. So the Harmon Circle, that'll explain kind of the 6 steps on how a story typically works, right? There's also the hero's journey as well. So a lot of the Disney movies that you see all kind of involve the hero's journey. And then I'll give you 2 books, and I'll pass it back to Neil. There's a book called Pixar Storytelling. So they literally walk through a bunch of like the Pixar stories and walk through kind of the ingredients that they're using in storytelling in there. Okay, so that one's interesting. And the second one is Storyworthy. So that literally is going to teach you how to practice the art of telling a story. And it literally is an art, right? Like, I've historically sucked at telling stories. I've gotten a little better over the years, but it's something that you have to practice. And there's actually competitions out there where people will practice, and like, you know, they'll go on stage, and then like you can actually win championships for good storytelling, right? So check out those resources. Neil, I'll pass it back over to you.
Yeah, check out neilpatel.com/about. It's my about page. I use storytelling both in the form of text and video. It's a great example of what to do in B2B. It resonates with people. That page has almost 2,000 comments.
Cool. So is that the one with the picture of you too?
We removed the picture, video, and there are some other pictures on there, but yeah.
Got it. All right, everyone, check that out. That is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.